Hey, this is Rich Murphy again, and
Yep.
welcome back to Riding the Bull. Today, outside of my amazing partner, John Lee Marcus, we have Paul Kokuzian,
So
who
excited.
is also a managing partner here at Lakefront Futures.
Yep. The Crypto King.
The Crypto King is
Yeah,
here.
there he is.
Finally.
No, shake it this way, baby.
It only
Okay.
took 2 episodes for me to come and save the show.
Thank you so much, Private. Thank you. Rico, we do owe him. You know what? It's guys like him. Like, he is very similar to this.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
Thank you, Private. Thank you, Private. So let's get right into it, Rico. Yeah. They won yesterday.
Yeah, Cubbies.
I mean, they held on.
It's false hope. It's so good.
No. Don't jinx it. We've already done enough to jinx this thing. He's going to be really happy tonight.
Just trying to bring home a loser.
Just wait.
White Sox fans and whoever plays the Cubs.
Yes.
There's your answer.
All right. We're jealous. So,
No, we're not.
Private, we really wanted to talk to you today. The big move today was really in the metals.
Massive move.
Massive move. And did you guys hear anything about that?
Honestly,
I heard nothing, but it seemed like and obviously hindsight being 2020 or 2015 when you get to my age, you could see this one coming. There's a huge psychological resistance level at 4,000, blows through there, dances around, and now today you've got a big sell-off. Silver very close to $5,000 or $50. Same thing happens. Lots of covering. Do you think this lasts, or is this just a blip?
Honestly, I think the momentum continues, to be honest. I mean, even with today's sell-off, it's as crazy as it sounds, we're still hovering right around $4,000 for gold, which is just crazy. So even though right now we're down about $85 on the day, I think
only.
Yeah.
No, I mean that seriously.
Sure. I think the momentum continues until there's some major changes to the dynamics of the market. But, I think this is just a small blip in the overall scheme of things.
I agree with you. Rico, what do you think?
I think if you didn't get in on the move, this is your opportunity to get in and to stay in. I don't think this is done at all. It reeks of a little dumping for profit taking or from like fund maneuvering. After that, I think it's a really good opportunity to get in, and I would not take this as a panic if you're still long to get short. Not at all. I think this is just another buying opportunity. That's my take. I think that's what you really need to look at.
Yeah,
there's no point of getting out here.
Well, that's
really
funny. Go ahead, Private.
No, I was going to say, I think fundamentally, it always makes sense to stay long, kind of in this situation. Some of the technicals are screaming, to maybe start overbought or building a short position. RSI is kind of over 90, I think. So some of the technicals are screaming that we're overbought in a short amount of time. But fundamentally, I think still long term, it makes sense to have exposure to metals to the upside.
You know what's funny, Rico? Also feel better. We're glad you're on the mend. You're not in the office today, but hence the Gaelic beauty at your home. Private and I were speaking today. You know, the funny thing is, nobody lost money on this move down. Nobody lost. I mean, you've been long for $400, and it's a pullback, but it's not like anybody's like panicking. And I think the people that were kind of late to the party, like you said, and we can wrap this up. We'll see how far this pullback goes, but I agree with you. I think it's a longer term. This is probably, as they like to say, healthy for the market.
Yeah, agree. I had a question for you guys. I know this is something that we talked about before. So Paul, if you're not aware of it, last week we were talking about the government shutdown. So today is actually day 9. I did
Doom,
not
doom.
really believe that it was going to be going this long. I thought maybe you might see a day or two, and then everybody kind of comes to their senses, and then here we go. But the political game of chicken is still
Yeah.
going on. Nobody has blinked yet. And
Mm-mm.
unfortunately, here we are now. They're starting to at least seriously consider layoffs or any other type of budgetary cuts in
Mm-hmm.
order to use up the funding that they have available before anything else happens. So I don't know. And once again, no reports or anything is coming out due to the fact that we are still in a shutdown. So just to
Mm-hmm.
clarify that, and I don't want to drag this out or anything, but I just want to at least bring that up. We're already at day 9, which is really kind of nuts if you think about it.
Yeah, I think
You think they sleep in every day? You know what I mean? Like, what are they
Yeah.
doing? What is a government? What do they do? You're not allowed to go to work.
Well, I think the actual Congress goes in because they have to
Mm-hmm.
vote on things. So
Okay.
other than that, if they can't come to an agreement, then it's just like, hey, are you going to the Mac today, or where are you going
Mm-hmm.
for lunch? And
Yeah.
then
Want
we're
to get
out.
brunch?
Yeah.
other necessity
Mm-hmm.
job related items. If it's a government related job that is a necessity, I think obviously they're still working.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think regarding the reports, we're in a time, especially specific to grains or any other commodity market, where a lot of these markets heavily depend on these government issued reports, and when
Mm-hmm.
you don't have that, it's kind of a little bit of a guessing game to see where things are coming in at. You're basing your decisions off of trade estimates or past reports that have come out,
Mhm.
what you're hearing more or less. You almost
Mhm.
feel like you're going back 20 or 30 years before the internet, where you're just speaking to people that are out there and telling you kind of what's going on in the fields or what they see in the feedlots. You're
Mm-hmm.
kind of basing those decisions based on conversations versus what you're reading on the internet.
How many people they hired at the local Panera versus how many left?
Yeah.
It's funny that you mentioned that because we missed a report today.
Yep.
Yes.
You know, I mean, and that's just one of. Were any of those energy reports released this week? Nothing, right?
No, I believe some of the
No,
energy
I believe some of
reports.
those came
Yeah.
out.
They did.
Yeah, some of the
Yes.
energy reports did come
That
out, but
was yesterday, but don't quote me on it. I
yeah,
believe that's
uh,
true.
Yeah, Wednesday and Tuesday.
Hmm. So those did
Oh
come out. I wouldn't say that they were anything that the market didn't already assume
no.
was going to happen. So that's that. You brought up cattle. I'll stay with
Mm-hmm.
cattle.
Mm-hmm.
There were some cash sales,
Mm-hmm.
smaller ones, 234 to 235 area. Um, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you saw,
Well,
well, go ahead. I was just going to
I
say,
was
but you
just.
saw movement today,
Mhm.
in fats and feeders. So here we go.
Okay, well, one of the things I was talking with somebody today that I thought was very, very interesting, and it's actually a huge move. Futures went from $6 under cash to $6 over cash.
Yes, good
That's a
point.
crazy move, and that's
Mhm.
if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what, but it wouldn't tell you that these things keep running.
yeah. I
You
think
know what I'm
No,
saying?
there's been more
no.
reports of the screw worm along the Mexican border. I think that's that has kind of scared the market. Obviously, screw worm has been talked about quite a bit, but I
Uh
think it's
huh.
just that it's being consistently found. I think
Yes.
it's
Mhm.
still scaring the market here.
That was the
True.
big thing, like back around. I mean, I won't get too like historical here, but like
Mhm.
back around like 2000, 2002, like when the market really, when you really saw something scary like that, that was the start
Mhm.
of Mad Cow. There was bird flu, and there was one other one.
Hoof and mouth.
Oh, no, it was like BS. Oh yeah, maybe it's hoof and mouth. Was there a B? It was something called BSE. But in any
Yeah.
case, these markets went crazy, and like that was always the
Yes.
turn. Like that was the last time you saw them under like a dollar.
True.
Remember, it was like cattle were
Yes, I do remember
75
that
cents,
actually.
60 cents to 75 cents, and that was probably a
Mhm.
yearly range. But in any
Yeah.
case, back to what you were saying with your screw worm. Um, did you have screw
Hey.
worm once, Private? Weren't you out for a week with screw worm? Like you had to sleep by yourself. You were
No
quarantined.
comment. No
Well, he
comment.
does that anyway.
Um,
But anyway,
well, he was playing in mud. But what we're gonna do is
wait,
probably
hold
see
on
now.
yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
No. We'll see where this thing kind of tops out. I bet you're very, 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 very close. Uh, and I'm not saying like you drop to like 180, but I would think that you could probably now you're sort of seeing your top. You're heading towards resistance, and kind of see where we go from there.
That's interesting because I might be on the other side. I think
That's
it's still,
fine. That's what makes these markets move.
yeah, I think it still has some legs, to be honest. I think slaughter numbers came in less than they were expecting, or less than last week.
That's my boy.
With
Right,
lower
there he is. Yeah.
lower slaughter numbers. These feeder cattle prices just continue to it's just absurd.
I'm with Paul on this. I said it last week. I said it
Young
the week
Paul.
before. I have
Paul.
correcto. I have not gotten off the cattle train. Yeah, go Cubs,
No,
go.
no, no, no. Just
And
keep talking. I just
and
want to
I
get this
just
over.
literally think that you're going to continue to see cattle move higher. I don't think this hiccup or any type of boogeyman that's coming in is going to do anything but
Screw worm.
thank you is going to just continue to move this market higher. You may see some sluggishness, but I don't think this is anywhere anybody should get. If you're going to hedge at 230, you're going to hedge at 235, you're going to hedge all the way up. So it is what it is. And I don't see how it's going to continue for anybody to think that it's going to continue lower unless
Yeah.
something crazy comes out. Other than that, no.
I'm not saying it continues lower or defending myself here, but
Oh.
I do. I just think it's like, what's the end game? Like, at what point? Do you know what I'm saying? And this probably
No, I
let's
would
save this
like
for
you to
another.
answer that yourself rhetorically. So, because what would the end game be if you were to
People
play that
stop. I
out?
mean, it's what they always say. People will stop eating beef and they'll start eating chicken and fish. That hasn't happened since Jesus wore sandals. It's never going to happen. A long time ago. So beef is always king. At what point does it become, you get into an economic situation where you can't afford to go out, or you can't afford like $140 steak?
Well, haven't
Do we get that high?
haven't we been in there since COVID starts, like
I mean,
2019,
you
2020?
guys have gone
You
out.
can make
What's
that
a steak
argument,
cost?
right?
Yeah,
You have to ask Paul. He's the rich
$70.
one.
I
Yeah.
haven't gone out.
Can I please borrow some money so I can take Di out private? Because, but here, what that sort of ties in. This crypto. This is why we wanted to bring you
Well,
on
that's
today.
what I was going to say. We brought this guy on for a reason, and the reason he's on is for his
There's a million
absolute
reasons.
elite. Well, of course, but
Yeah.
let's just, from a professional standpoint,
Yes.
his elite knowledge of the crypto markets,
Just
and we're just what?
But
Just
not
as-
in a
What?
like I'm 18 years old. I made $16 million last week, and I
No,
still,
not some
no, no.
Instagram
No, no,
ad.
no,
No, he's not
one
selling
of
a
those
system.
guys that has always studied and known this stuff. He does.
Thank you.
Yeah,
He-
we respect
you,
him
John.
for that.
No,
Yeah.
to be honest, I was even myself. I was late to the whole crypto game, and I think it took a lot of time for people to really buy into the overall benefits or the functionality of how it's gonna change the market.
Yeah.
And I think with this new administration, you're really seeing a fundamental shift in how it's going to be adopted, how it's going to be a use case scenario for a lot of the technology behind blockchain, outside of Bitcoin and the benefits of Bitcoin, but really having Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and having all these other blockchain technology. I think there's a lot of upside opportunity. With that being said, that comes with a lot of volatility as well, and we've seen it here in the short term. But it's hard not to be bullish. Ethereum, Solana, XRP, these types of what quote unquote altcoins in the crypto space. Given the administration, given all of the advances in terms of technology and stable coins and the institutionalizing of all of this, I think there's a strong bull case to be made. Again, with that being said, there's going to be decent amount of volatility that comes with that.
Can you talk about altcoins for a second? Because I'm not real familiar with that. I mean, I know I hear the term bandied about, but like, what are altcoins?
Altcoins are
Thanks.
basically, everything outside of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is kind of the main cryptocurrency. Altcoins are Ethereum, Solana, XRP. There's Avalanche. There's a lot of. It's basically kind of a technology or has a use case in society in which you could leverage the infrastructure to, whether it's better to do transactions or purchase items or purchase assets, whatever the case may be. It basically helps streamline those that process.
So what was the Trump coin that was released?
To be honest, I don't know much about the Trump coin.
Get him off,
yeah.
Joey.
No, but I think some of you really have to do your research and you have to understand what's going on behind the scenes in terms of the adoption of a lot of this stuff. Ethereum specifically is something that I've been following very closely over the last 24 to 36 months, and I think there's some recent upgrades that's going to happen from an infrastructure standpoint for Ethereum. That's one of the main negative about Ethereum for the longest time was, it has high gas fees, the transactional costs are very high, and the recent or the future upgrades here in the next month or two is going to change some of that. So the efficiency of Ethereum and the cost in which to do transactions is going to get a lot better here in the next couple months. I think right now it's being tested, and then it's going to go live on the main net sometime in early December. So time will tell. Indirectly that should help support the price of Ethereum, but no one really knows to see. Hopefully this transition goes well.
It's
I
exciting.
have a question for you really quick though. Speaking from an altcoin standpoint, is Ethereum really considered still an altcoin, even though it's exchange traded here for us as a futures contract? Because kind of I looked at it like, you have Bitcoin and then you have like Ethereum. I just didn't know. I can understand like XRP or anything else of that nature are smaller, from a funding standpoint, Coinbase. But is Ethereum really kind of, I don't want to say catching up, but at least almost in the same type of building that you have with Bitcoin?
So it's still considered an alternative or an altcoin. They're all considered altcoins. But what's happened is, Ethereum specifically or Solana, these products have been the ones that have derivatives around it. Obviously with Bitcoin leading the way, which was the first that had derivatives. But not only can you trade them in the cash market or the spot market, but you could also trade a lot of these cryptocurrencies now in the derivatives market. And you're seeing Coinbase, you're seeing CME Group. There's a lot of different groups that are out there that are launching their versions of the derivatives. But each one has different contract specs and benefits. So yes, even though they have a derivatives futures contract and sometimes options on those futures, all of these outside of Bitcoin are considered altcoins, which is different than the meme coin.
Did you guys hear that?
No.
Okay. That's really good, Private, and like this is the kind of explanation for some of this stuff because a lot of these markets, and you could take the name off of Ethereum or Bitcoin or any of this stuff, how we trade it through the CME with the futures, and you're just looking at price movement, and it goes here and it goes there, and it's like it's nice to understand from a fundamental point of view, like you're showing us. Why there are these crazy moves.
Yeah, I think what's very unique, not unique, I should say, but obviously, as Lakefront, we've always had a heavy emphasis on commodities, where they're physically grown and there's growing seasons, and whether they're soft commodities or agricultural commodities. I think cryptocurrencies in some capacity replicate that in many different ways because there's a limited supply of the technology.
Sure.
Everyone's trying to leverage that technology and take ownership of much of it of the supply as possible. And sometimes that supply expands and contracts, and it's very relatable to a lot of the commodity markets that we trade. And I think that's where there's similarities between the products, and that's where we could leverage some of the same concepts and ideas over the years of the past commodity markets to these new cryptocurrency markets that we're seeing here today.
Yeah, I would like to jump on that because we'll wrap this up, but I think that really holds a lot of water, what Private just described right there. For me, being late to the game on cryptos had more to my ignorance based on, I always felt that they weren't safe, but it wasn't the coin itself because Bitcoin has never been hacked. Ethereum has not been hacked. Your wallets have been hacked. So I think that's where a lot of misconceptions about cryptos not being safe is more based on the individual or the banks or your wallets that aren't as safe. But now that people are starting to really embrace it, you could see a lot of what Private just talked about from a movement standpoint, and that now exchanges are embracing them, and you're seeing futures contracts along with option contracts based on this.
Yeah.
So the acceptance is a lot greater, which will only increase value. And for me, where from a standpoint of actually buying from a cash standpoint, a lot more favorable, not only from like a here and now, but as an investment tool as well.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Absolutely.
I think.
Yeah, when the CME decided to, really back some of these contracts with, or these coins with futures,
Yes.
I feel like they've done their research. They're backing this thing. This is going to be, now it's something that's hedgeable in the cash.
Correct.
And now this
Absolutely
is something
true.
that's got some real legs. So anyways, thank you, Private, as
Yeah.
always.
My pleasure.
That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Thanks for having me.
No, we love to have you, and we would love to have you
I'd like to
back.
have you more.
Yeah.
What are you doing
There's
next week?
been
You
a
have
lot
hockey
of
practice?
requests to have you on here.
I'll check my
So-
schedule. I might be booked for next week. I got a different podcast to do.
Well, you know what? Enough making fun of you. Is there a person on this of the three of us that's 0-10 in all of his fantasy leagues?
Yeah,
0-10.
that would be me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're
That would be me.
0-5 in
The
the office
Ofer.
league. Yeah. How is that possible? You know when something's so hard, like, when people are like, I won the lottery. It was like a 1 in, 50 bazillion gazillion chance that you won the lottery and got all the numbers. I feel like it's sort of like that to go 0-10. 0-5 in 2 leagues. Can you talk about that for just a second?
Yeah, no,
That's hard
it's
to do.
I didn't know you were 0-5 in both leagues.
Yeah.
yeah.
And we have 3 women in our league, in this other league, the wives. And no disrespect to any of the women, but my wife couldn't name 2 football players.
great. Okay. Yeah, I am 0-5 in both leagues.
Yeah. Combined over.
Last week I put up a hell of a fight
Yeah, you did.
in
That was actually
office.
sad.
It was quite sad. But the thing that is, I'm only 1 game out of 6th. So
Wow.
Who's in
It's
6?
actually pretty.
Paul.
Yeah, that's right.
Paul is.
Yeah.
That's right.
Oh,
1 and
sorry.
4.
Oh my God! Look at this. What a good
Yeah,
segue.
go.
Why are you
Yeah.
losers doing so poorly this year? What's the problem?
Listen, hockey season started.
Understood.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all that matters. This
Yeah.
week, hockey season started.
For me, it's been curling season. So
Yeah. How's that going?
it's really good. Yeah. I'm actually throwing, so it's really good. I've got elevated from first brush, so
Nice.
I'm really, really, really happy about it, and it's just going to be amazing.
Congratulations.
Also,
Yeah, Mazel
yeah,
tov.
thank you. My in case anybody wants to know, John and I just recently retired last year. We were a synchronized swimming duo called the Aqua Lungs, and we retired, so that kind of took up our summer. Now I had too much time to kind of work on my fantasy stuff, and as you know,
Less is more.
right. Paralysis by overanalysis.
Oh God! Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our,
Anyway.
our in-house poet. So,
Yeah.
guys, what else do we have to wrap this up with?
Lastly, I am playing my final game here. In and under protest. There was a trade of collusion that happened today.
Yeah.
And all I'm going to say is I don't believe Justin for Josh Allen.
Well, hold on. Can I say that the trade, the commissioner of our league,
Commish.
yeah, the commish. Well, commish is
Collusion.
his first name. Traded
Collusion.
And help me out here. He traded for Josh Allen, who's on the blocks in a desperation move from another team. Traded for Josh Allen. Traded the kid, the running back on Dallas, who was on Denver last year. Yeah. He traded for one of the Kansas City wide receivers,
Rasheed Weiss. Weiss.
Yeah.
Weiss.
Rice. Rice. And there were two other like garbage players, right?
That quarterback from Chargers.
Oh, Herbert.
Yeah.
Herbs.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah.
It was very unfair. At least that's the
I believe. I don't know the parameters around it, and
would you have made that trade? Would you have
Absolutely
made that
not.
trade?
I would not have made that trade. But here's the problem that I have with that trade.
Would you have made
Our
that
producer Joseph Q Bags, the 5th to the 7th power, is behind that, and he did this, and I believe he did this so that he can get like $200 back if Jack wins. Our producer, I'm sorry, the commission. So I think there's something really going on, and we got to look into it. Anyway, that's I got to get that out. Go Cubs.
Insider trading, I think.
Oh my God, Private.
Insider trading.
Insider trading. That's it. I agree.
Well, does anybody have anything else? This was a great week.
It was a pleasure.
No, it was great.
Yeah,
I
you were
really
awesome.
enjoyed it. I feel somewhat better seeing you guys. I'm glad that I'm not there because
just feel better.
I think we're glad you're not here.
Gonna try to feel better. Anyway,
we're glad you're not here either.
Rich Pat Murphy.
It's so awesome. Thanks, Coach.
And Rico, what's the final score of the Cubs game today?
6-3.
Oh my God! I swear to God, that's what I swear to God. I thought 6-3. 6-3 Brewers.
We'll see you.
I'm not even kidding.
We'll see you on Saturday.
That's my thought too.
We'll see you
Private,
guys on
what do you
Saturday.
think?
6-4 Cubs.
6-4 Cubs.
Yeah.
All right, let's check back next week and see who was right.
Cubs, go.
In the 10th inning. 6-4.
Oh wow.
Walk off.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much for tuning in. This has been Riding the Bull. As always, I am Rich Murphy with John Lee Marcus, the incredible one.
Hi.
Paul Kokuzian joining us. Thank you so much. We're going to have you back.
Yeah,
hey, you guys, if you like what you're seeing, please like this.
Okay.
Hit subscribe, all the notifications. Do me a favor. Also, comment down below in the comment section. Helps the algorithm to keep this thing going. Also, if you guys want to look and try to find us in our other socials, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and we are also on X, otherwise known as former Twitter. It's Ridin, no G, Ridin the Bull pod.
Love it. Wow,
all right?
Rico, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Private, you should subscribe, click, and do all the things that he just
comment
said,
down below.
You start.
I'm still doing my research. I'm trying to figure it out still.
I have hockey practice.
I got hockey practice. Yeah, and I got a Wookiee convention. All right.
All right. Thank you, guys. You guys are the best.
Take care.
See you guys.
Bye.